You must stay at home. If you don't follow the rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them.
The Prime Minister has announced the most drastic limits to our lives that the UK has ever seen in living memory.
Stay at home and stay at least 2 meters away from people.
We have got to put in place the public health surveillance, the isolation, the quarantine, the case finding, the detection. We have got to be able to show that we can go after the virus.
What's your estimate for us being able to give someone we just met a hug?
As the true engine of our economy.
The current global crisis has disrupted every aspect of our lives, but it has also presented us with an extraordinary opportunity, a chance to reset and accelerate efforts to improve the state of our world.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. A world where the United Nations is poised to fulfill the historic vision of its founders.
It's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
At the end of the Cold War, Henry Kissinger pointed out in his superb book on diplomacy, he said, "None of the most important countries which must build a new world order."
And this present window of opportunity during which a truly peaceful and interdependent world order might
I think we got him through this term. We would always show shots of him jogging, him in aviator shades, and like you paint him as a young geriatric.
We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. You know, so that's I think that's propaganda.
I think what we did, we got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it, and I 100% believe it, that if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have got voted out.
Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
Do you guys stand with these propaganda?
Oh no,
okay, can you define propaganda? Like I think I know, but like how is it? What's the mechanism?
If the agenda say is to like get like Matt Gaetz right now, he's like this Republican, like he's a problem for the Democratic Party because he's so conservative, right? And he can cause a lot of hiccups in passing of laws. So it would be great for the Democratic Party to get him out. So we're going to keep running those stories to keep hurting him and make it so that it can't be buried and like just, you know, settled outside of court and just like, you know, if we keep pushing that, it's helping us.
Gangbusters were rated, right? Gangbusters were rated, right? Which is why we constantly have the death toll on the side. Let's make it higher. Like, why isn't it high enough? You know, today, like, it would make our point better if it was higher. It's fear. Like, fear really drives numbers. Fear is the thing that keeps you tuned in.
If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah.
If it bleeds, it leads?
Yeah. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
There's no such thing as unbiased news. I think that there's like in art to manipulation. It's always leading them in a direction before they even open their mouth. Listen to the way they ask questions, because they're not actually asking questions. Any reporter on CNN, what they're actually doing is they're telling the person what to say. It's an art form.
Like South Dakota. I believe that. I believe they didn't have the same level of fear. And what caused so many people in New York to change their behavior? It was the fear. Why do you guys wear the masks now? oh, because you said we have to, there's a law that says. No. You wear the masks because you're afraid of COVID.
Listen to me. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough. Hold on! If you hear something in the woods, you tell me. If you hear something in the water, you tell me. But under no circumstance are you allowed to take off your blindfold.
She said she was jet lagged.
The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between, we're touching doorknobs, water fountains, and each other.
Beth. Mom? No, go up to your room, honey.
So we have a virus with no treatment protocol and no vaccine at this time.
Hello. I need you to get me the names of everyone who serviced this room. It's an emergency.
You can't panic now.
I know.
I'm gonna get you.
COVID's look. Would you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you. I had not noticed COVID's detailed.
Feeling so satisfied.
When you really look at what's going down, you could see the ritualistic use of these things. A good example of this would be the 2012 Olympic Games in London that kind of pre-echoed this whole COVID thing going on.
Anyone who's not aware, go back and look at the Olympic opening and closing for London. I think it's the opening. All the hospital beds and the creepy crawler 15-foot dudes going around. And just the whole thing is pre-echoed there. And at some point, we're going to have to grow the hell up. And so right now where we are is if you point out these things that are undeniable, you get labeled, oh, you're a conspiracy guy, or you're something silly. But the truth of it is that's undeniable. How do we end up where we are here and feel so helpless when there's so much overwhelming evidence to show just exactly how we ended up here? I would just ask that question.
Right, and I would agree with that because it gets to the point where how much more of this do you have to see right in your face to understand? Some of this stuff is quite possibly pre-planned or pre-echoed in so many different ways. It's obvious to anybody who actually takes a look at it, but people will just say, it's a coincidence. Well, how many friggin' coincidences do you have to see to decide that there's some kind of pre-planning? Like, it's over the top already. Like, just today, I discovered that there's actually a scene in the end credits of a 2011 film, Captain America, the First Avenger, and there's a scene there at the end where if you pause it, you could see clearly on his right side, there's a big billboard sign that has a Corona beer on it. And on his left sign, I kid you not, is a picture of the image of the coronavirus that they've been showing all around. So it's right there in a 2011 film. And I looked, and sure enough, it's really there. So, I mean, it's another pre-echoing there of things. So it's like, how many of these coincidences do people need to see?
This is General William Sullivan with an emergency message. I'm speaking to you from a CDC clean zone. Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. Unprecedented threat requires a worldwide quarantine. All ships must remain at sea until further. Humanity must endure.
We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions, too terrified to skip the commercials.
Well, I think...
NBC, you are here to listen and not speak. I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time.
That is so...
Now, I hate to be the guy who derails what everybody else loves.
He loves being that guy.
But, Janice, we do have standards. This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
We do have something we've been holding on to, but it hasn't been tested. Get over here, NBC.
trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
I didn't even ask you. So I should it in.
Black Mama doesn't end. Heroes come and go.
But legends are forever.
Oh no, it's the apocalypse!
The future is transformed. I am the instrument to purify the world. The evil of human and mutant must be cut away. You shall help me tear down the old order. Those who oppose me shall perish through my agents of destruction. Famine, pestilence, war, and my greatest creation, death, the winged avenger. From the ashes of this world, I will build a better one. Go forth, my horsemen, and let chaos cleanse the world. Each generation has cried out for a new world, but has built the same old one, corrupt and weak. But the new world shall come to pass. I will purge the earth of these benighted humans. Take the food from their mouths.
No! Oh, please. Oh, food. Oh, help. Food, please. Please help.
Turn their weapons against them. War shall be their destruction. Exterminate them. We will.
They shall be purified with fire and water.
Everyone is coming to the future. Now everyone is learning from the past. Now everyone is coming to the future. Now everyone is here is gonna last.
Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, holding in his hand the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain. And he seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, and bound him for 1,000 years, and threw him into the... Remember, all come from dust. To dust all.
Device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away, because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
Smart Mark number 1.
Time to test our system, number 6. The Flex Fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex
Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
Growing up in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer. Chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change. To make it all better. All these years working in secret. Rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in Charter City. No child will have to fear for their safety again.
The people owe you the greatest of debts, number 1. For liberating them from the chaos of their...
Zoe. Just like you, she uses lots of different cards and IDs to get through her day. What if all Zoe needed was herself? Introducing Amazon One, a free service that lets you use your palm to quickly pay for things, gain access, earn rewards, and more. Let's say you're grabbing your favorite coffee beverage, or heading into the office, or checking out. Just hover your palm and you're on your way.
Okay, so here we have the new ATMs here at the UVA Credit Union in Berkmar in Charlottesville, Virginia. Looks like they're made by Hillsong with a thing that looks kind of like the buildings there in Wuhan, China. This looks like a bar to possibly scan your license plate or your vehicle. Down here we have ID card scan, I assume for vaccination cards. Over here we have a palm vein scan, which looks like possible microchips. And so what they're going to do is they're going to require mandatory vaccinations for all Americans and all of your children. And if you do not, comply with them, then they are not going to allow.